The war had raged for 3 cycles, a brutal conflict that had painted the stars with blood and fire. The Valkyrian Empire, with its crystalline ships and energy weapons that could vaporize entire fleets, had swept through human space like a cosmic storm. They were superior in every measurable way, faster, stronger, their technology centuries beyond Earth's capabilities. Victory, the Valkyrian High Command assured their people, was inevitable. Commander Jarakai, Queen of the Third Fleet, stood aboard her flagship as it descended toward the human colony of New Bristol. The planet's defenses had crumbled within hours. Now came the occupation, the subjugation, the integration into the Empire. It was routine. It was necessary. It was the natural order of a superior species claiming its dominion. But as her shuttle touched down in the burning ruins of the colony's central district, something felt different. The reports had been fragmentary. A skirmish in the medical sector. Heavy casualties. And then, silence from her daughter's unit. Princess Lyrakai, her youngest, had insisted on leading the ground forces. Young, eager to prove herself, burning with the righteousness of their cause, Jarakai had allowed it. Believing the humans too broken to pose any real threat, she had been wrong. The medical facility was a chaos of smoke and sparking electronics. Valkyrian soldiers moved through the corridors with weapons raised, their chitinous armor scorched from firefights. They parted wordlessly as their queen passed, her 4 arms carrying both authority and dread. She found them in what had once been an emergency room. A human male sat on the floor, his back against a wall riddled with plasma burns. His uniform marked him as a medic, one of their healers. Blood, both red and the luminescent blue of Valkyrian physiology, covered his hands and chest. His face was a mask of exhaustion, pain, and something else. Defiance, perhaps, or determination. In his arms, he cradled Princess Lyrakai. The queen froze. Her daughter's body was broken, her exoskeleton cracked in dozens of places. One of her 3 eyes closed forever. The human had wrapped her in makeshift bandages, human materials pressed against alien wounds. His hands maintained pressure on her thorax where ichor still seeped, his grip firm but somehow gentle. Release her. Jarakai's voice was ice and thunder. 30 weapons trained on the human in an instant. The medic looked up. His eyes, those strange, expressive human eyes, met hers without flinching. No. The word hung in the air like a challenge to the universe itself. You dare, Jarakai began, her voice rising. She's dying, the human interrupted, his voice hoarse but steady. The coagulation matrix I've applied is the only thing keeping her from bleeding out in the next 2 minutes. If I let go, she dies. If your soldiers shoot me, my muscles will relax and she dies. If you want your daughter to live, everyone in this room needs to shut up and listen. The audacity should have earned him immediate execution, but Jarakai saw the truth in the trembling of her daughter's breathing, the way Lyra's remaining eyes had dimmed. She raised one hand and the soldiers held their fire. Speak, she commanded. Your physiology is different from ours, but trauma is trauma. I've stabilized the major hemorrhaging, but she needs surgery within the hour. Your medical bay, if you have one on that flagship of yours, and someone who knows Valkyrian anatomy. He paused, his jaw tightening. I'm guessing that would be you. Why? The question escaped Jarakai before she could stop it. Why save her? We destroyed your colony, killed your people. The human's expression was unreadable. Pain, anger, exhaustion, and something else warred across his features. Because I took an oath, he said finally, to preserve life, all life, even when it wears the face of my enemy. He looked down at Lyra and his voice softened. And because she's someone's daughter, just like the girl I couldn't save 3 hours ago was someone's daughter. The word struck Jarakai like a physical blow. She had studied humans, knew them to be emotional, irrational creatures. But this incomprehensible mercy in the face of such loss? She called for you, the human said quietly. When I found her. Your daughter. She was scared and she called for her mother. His eyes met Jarakai's again, just like that human girl called for hers. The queen moved forward, her mind racing through protocol, through pride, through the weight of command and species and empire. None of it mattered. She knelt beside the human, her superior height making the position awkward. Tell me what you need, she said. For the next 40 minutes, species and war ceased to exist. There was only queen and medic, mother and healer working in desperate synchronization. He explained the temporary measures he'd taken, his hands never wavering. She called for her medical team, translated his observations into Valkyrian physiology, made decisions with a clarity born of necessity rather than training. When Lyrakai was finally stable, loaded onto a medical transport, the human slumped against the wall. His hands, freed of their burden, shook violently. Jarakai stood looking down at him. You could have let her die. Revenge for your people. The medic laughed, a bitter, broken sound. Revenge doesn't bring anyone back. It just makes more people who need medics. He looked up at her, those alien eyes filled with a grief that transcended species. I'm so tired of losing people, Commander. I'm tired of being the last face they see. So when I had a chance to save one, he shrugged helplessly. I took it. The Queen made a decision that would echo through the halls of the Valkyrian Empire for generations. What is your name, human? Marcus Chen. Marcus Chen, I am placing you under my personal protection. You will accompany us to the flagship. You will assist in my daughter's recovery. She paused, the weight of what she was about to say settling over her like a mantle. And when she is healed, you and I will discuss why this war must end. The medic stared at her in disbelief. You, what? A species that produces individuals who will save their enemy's child at the cost of their own safety, Jarakai said slowly, is not a species that should be subjugated. It is a species that should be understood. As her soldiers helped the human to his feet, as her flagship prepared to depart the burning colony, Queen Jarakai looked once more at the human who had refused to let go. In his stubbornness, in his impossible mercy, she had seen something that 3 cycles of war had failed to teach her. Humanity's true strength was not in their weapons or their tactics. It was in their refusal to abandon their principles, even when the universe gave them every reason to do so, and that, she realized, made them the most formidable species she had ever encountered.